In this video, we're going to look at the graphs of the three basic hyperbolic trig functions Cosh, Sine, and Tanh. Let's start with Cosh. So, starting with the definition, Cosh x is e to the x plus e to the minus x divided by 2. So, I reckon you could have a go at pausing the video and trying to sketch this yourself first. So hopefully you've done that, but let's just think through how we can do this. Well, let's start with something simple like a y-intercept. Well, when x is 0, we've got e to the 0 plus e to the 0, so that's 2, divided by 2 is 1. So it's going to go through at 1 here. Now, if we think about what happens as x gets very large, well, as x gets very large, e to the x grows exponentially, of course, and e to the minus x just disappears down to 0. So effectively, as x gets really, really large, this graph is going to become very similar to just e to the x over 2. So over in this direction, it's just looking like a standard exponential. So it's going to look something like this over here. We'll kind of fill in the gaps in a moment. And on the left-hand side, we're going to have the reverse, which is that when x is a very large negative number, e to the minus x grows exponentially, because if x is minus 100, that's e to the negative 100, so e to the 100, but e to the x disappears to 0. So what we have is it must be growing exponentially over here as well. So it's going to be looking like that. We can also see it's going to be symmetrical. Now it must be symmetrical because if you replaced x with minus x, you'd have exactly the same thing. That's, by the way, a test whether a function is what we call an even function. If you take cosh of minus x, you end up with e to the minus x plus e to the minus x over 2, which ends up being e to the x plus e to the minus x over 2, which is the same as cosh x. So f of minus x is the same as f of x, and so it has reflective symmetry about the y-axis. Okay, so what's going on in the middle then? Well, the only question is, are there things like stationary points? Are there stationary points, and if so, where are they? There must be a stationary point because we're going down here and we're going up here. So we could differentiate this, and if we differentiate this, we get e to the x minus e to the minus x over 2. And if you set that equal to 0, what do we get? Well, multiplying through by 2, we get e to the x minus e to the minus x equals 0. Well, that means that e to the x equals e to the minus x. Multiplying through by e to the x, we get e to the 2x equals 1. And therefore, x has to be 0. So it tells me there is just a single stationary point, and it's here. So our graph is going down and across and up like this. Now, an interesting fact about this Cosh graph is if you were to take a rope, like a rope that has some weight, or a chain, some kind of heavy rope or chain, and suspend it between 2 points, the curve that it makes is actually a transformation of a Cosh graph, which is quite a nice fact. Okay, so that is what cosh x looks like. What about sine? Well, sine x, remember, is e to the x minus e to the minus x all over 2. So let's start with a y-intercept. Well, when x is 0, we have e to the 0 minus e to the 0, which is 0. So this is going through the origin. Now the same property holds on the left-hand side as on the right-hand side, sorry, as we had for cosh, which is that as x tends towards infinity, the e to the minus x just loses its relevance, and we basically end up with e to the x over 2. So over on this side, we do get basically an exponential. Now for large negative values of x, the opposite is true. We get e to the minus x growing to infinity, and so minus e to the minus x tending towards minus infinity. So we have a exponential curve going that way. So the only thing that remains is to say, are there any are there any stationary points? Now, if we differentiate this, we could just differentiate term by term, but recall that we've already established that the derivative of sin x is cosh x. So if there are any stationary points, it would be because cosh x is 0, but cosh x is not 0. See, it has no roots. So that means that sin x has no stationary points. And so what we actually have here is a graph which just cuts through there and continues on its way. So just be careful of that. It's easy to draw this in a way that makes it look almost like y equals x cubed, but y equals x cubed does have a stationary point at the origin. This one doesn't. It actually has a positive gradient as it cuts through there. So that is sin x. Let's think now about tang x. So tang x is the fiddliest one because tang x is sin x over cosh x, which ends up being e to the x minus e to the minus x divided by e to the x plus e to the minus x. So let's approach this in the same way. We'll think, what's the y-intercept? What's the behaviour as x tends towards positive and negative infinity? Well, when x is 0, we get e to the 0 minus e to the 0, which is 0. So it goes through the origin. Now, as x tends towards positive infinity, the e to the minus x bits disappear down to 0, and we're left essentially with e to the x over e to the x, which is 1. So this graph is tending towards a y value of 1. In fact, it's a horizontal asymptote there. So it is tending towards that horizontal line, like so. And similarly, when x approaches minus infinity, the e to the x's just disappear to 0, leaving us with minus e to the minus x over e to the minus x, which is minus 1. So we've got another horizontal asymptote of minus 1 here. And so on the left-hand side, it's looking like that. We can look at stationary points again, just to see what's happening here. Now, that involves differentiating this, which we can do using the quotient rule. So if this top one is the u and this one's the v, our derivative, dy by dx, is v u dash, which is e to the x plus e to the minus x, minus uv dash, which is e to the x minus e to the minus x, and v dash is the same, e to the x minus e to the minus x, all over e to the x plus e to the minus x squared. Now, a stationary point happens when this numerator is 0. So this numerator, well, notice that what we have here is it is the difference of two squares, but I think we can just expand all of this out. If we do expand it out, we get e to the 2x plus 2 plus e to the minus 2x. Expanding the other bracket, I have minus e to the 2x, minus minus, so plus 2, and then minus e to the minus 2x. And if that were equal to 0, well, that's a problem because we have just 4 left. That cancels with that. That cancels with that. We end up with 4 equals 0, there, which is a contradiction, obviously, so no stationary points. So we must simply be increasing, and indeed that is what happens. It just goes up through the origin here and heads over towards its asymptote there. So that is what tang x looks like. It almost looks a bit reminiscent of some rotated version of tan x, I suppose, but it's got these horizontal asymptotes at 1 and minus 1. Okay, well, those are the graphs of cosh and sin and tang, and they're very useful to be quite familiar with. Okay, see you in the next video.